Good morning, Unity Atlanta Church.
Watching people drive by, T-Mac on the radio. Not so much on your mind, nothing's really going right. Looking for a ray of hope. Whatever it is you may be going through, I know you're not gonna let it get the best of you. You're an overcomer. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under, 'cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when God reminds you, you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. Everybody's been down, hit the bottom, hit the ground. Ooh, you're not alone. Just take a breath, don't forget, hang on to the promises. God wants you to know you're an overcomer. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under, 'cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when God reminds you, you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. The Spirit one, the great I am, the one who overcame death, is living inside of you. So just hold tight, fix your eyes on the one who holds you tight. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under, 'cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when God reminds you, you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. So don't quit. You're an overcomer. Don't quit. You're an overcomer. Don't quit. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer.
Good morning. I invite you to join with me in a moment of prayer. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of joy, guide us so that we may nurture in our lives the elements of hope. Ground us in the stability and security of your healing love and compassionate presence. Help us to remain mindful that you are the source not only of life, but also of healing, purpose, meaning, and abundance. Out of your stable, grounding presence, call forth in us a spirit of profound and unassailable trust. Guide us so that we may fearlessly and confidently embrace the mystery and possibility of every moment, each succeeding instant of the sacred present. Teach us that by fostering an ever-deepening trust in your transforming grace, we are also empowered to bring wise and rightful trust into all of our relationships. Because of the grace we find in trusting you, we take heart in the gift of courage. Lead us by your inspiration to move from receptive confidence to creative action, knowing that your infinite creativity can emerge in us through a dazzling variety of ways. We know that we are the hands and heart of your divinity, manifest in human form, and that our actions today create the world of tomorrow. Guide us to act with courage and purpose and steadfast perseverance, that our efforts may bear the fruit of your love. And finally, weave together stability and trust and courage to ignite in us an ever-flowing fountain of joy. Help us to always remember that the promise of life is not merely to endure, but to thrive with delight, insight, elation, and wonder. You promise us good cheer, deep solace, heavenly gladness, and eternal bliss. Give us playful hearts so that we may embody your joy with eyes alive to your uncreated light. Spirit, we know you love us, you heal us, and you sustain us in the present moment, in the here and now. And it is your hope that invites us to carry the blessings of this sacred now into your glorious future. Through your hope, may our lives not only be luminous in their resilience and their joy, but truly a beacon of celestial light and ever-blossoming union with you. With confidence we pray. Amen.
Carl, thank you so much for that prayer, which was both a blessing and many statements of encouragement. Thank you so much for that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being with us today to celebrate life and to focus on hope, because hope is something that we all need. Whether you are joining us virtually or if you are in the sanctuary, know that you are always welcome here, that your presence helps to make this time together a wonderful time. One thing that we do to celebrate each other every Sunday is to greet each other, and that greeting says to the person you are talking to, that I behold the Christ in you, that you are the Christ and I am the Christ, and therefore we are one. So before we do that, I want to invite anyone who would like to address our virtual audience to come up here to the mic. You can say good morning to them, or you can say namaste, whatever is on your heart. But right now, let's greet each other and say namaste.
Christ
I hope your energy has been uplifted by our Namaste greeting. It's a lovely tradition. And we have several traditions here at Unity Church, all good. And one of them, when I serve as worship partner, is to celebrate birthdays. Now, if your birthday is in April, I need you to stand up. Come up here, birthday banner bearers. No, we've got one April baby in the house. Oh, another April baby in the house. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and another April baby waving her hand. And if you are with us virtually, please stand so that we can salute you too. One thing I do on our birthday Sundays is to offer a birthday blessing. We know we can bless ourselves, but I want to offer a blessing for you too. Traditionally, April is the month when gardeners start preparing their gardens for the abundance that will spring forth from the earth as a result of the gardener's tender care, the weather conditions, and the laws of nature. I see April as a month of intense hope, grounded in faithful preparation for the good which will surely come. May you, April babies, realize and embrace the fact that you were born in such a month. As you begin your personal new year, may you spring forth in joy. May you fertilize all that you do with equal amounts of the goodness that you naturally are, and an unwavering hope that you will harvest all the desires of your heart, for that is your divine inheritance. Happy birthday, April babies. And after service, we'll all have a sip of this champagne, this happy birthday champagne. Thank you so much, birthday banner bearers and the champagne bearer. You guys are really good. And now let us turn to our statement of faith and say that with me. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives, God, the good omnipotence. And now let us read the daily word for today. Our daily word for today is a classic daily word from September 1977. The daily word for today is hope. The affirmation is, my hope is renewed. I rejoice that I have the undying flame of spirit within me that keeps me keeping on. The scripture is from Romans chapter 12, verse 12, which reads, rejoice in your hope, be constant in prayer. The reading says, One of the most popular verses in the Bible is faith, hope, love, abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. Love may be the greatest, but this does not relegate hope to a lowly position. It has been said, where there is life, there's hope. Let us reverse this idea and affirm, where there's hope, there's life. Hope is evidence of the undying flame of spirit within us that yearns for life. God never gives up on us, for we are God's creation. And God knows that we will never fail as we let hope dissolve disappointment. Hope is misplaced when it is placed in conditions, events, or things. Hope is evidence of the Christ within us, stirring, moving, urging us to grow in faith and love. The hope of spirit is eternal, and we are alive in the truth of God's renewing life surging through us now. Again, the daily word for today is hope, and the affirmation is, my hope is renewed. I rejoice that I have the undying flame of spirit within me that keeps me keeping on. Namaste. Now let us prepare for meditation.
I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place. With my own two hands, make it a kinder place. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, I can make peace on earth. With my own two hands, I can clean up the earth. With my own two hands, I can reach out to you. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my own two hands, I'm gonna make it a brighter place. With my own two hands, I'm gonna make it a safer place. With my own two hands, I'm gonna help the human race. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my
Our chaplains in the sanctuary, wearing purple stoles, will be joining us. If you would like them to hold you in special prayer, please feel free to raise your hand. I invite you to take a deep breath and slowly exhale. And again, a deep breath and slowly exhale. Being mindful of this now moment, keep your attention to your breathing, allowing the fresh air that goes through your nostrils move through your entire body, and exhale, letting go of worries or concerns and completely relax. Continue to breathe and allow my words to be your words. I am a beloved child of God, created in His image and likeness. Divine life that renews every cell in my body. Divine love that heals everything that needs to be healed. Today, I remember I am never alone. God is with me. There is no word in circumstances greater than God. Knowing this, I am courageous. I have hope. I center my thoughts on the spiritual presence within me. My hope soothes any feeling of fear and helps me trust that God within is inspiring me in all aspects of my life. And I know that God, the one presence and one power, is greater than all circumstances. gently now. Take a deep breath and rejoice in the presence of the Most High, realizing that your true potential comes from believing in the divine presence within you. You stay rooted in your faith and trust God at all times. Namaste.
If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we got to pray on, pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we got to pray on, pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we got to pray on, pray on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to pray on, pray on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to pray on, pray on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to pray on, pray on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to work on, work on. If we want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to work on, work on. If we want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to teach on, teach on. If we want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to teach on, teach on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to move on, move on. If we want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to move on, move on. We want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we got to sing on, sing on. If we want hope to survive in this world today. Sing on, sing on. Got to sing on, sing on. Sing on, sing on. Sing on, sing on. Sing on, sing on.
Beautiful. Sweet Honey in the Rock may have some competition. Very nice, thank you. I'm glad we have warmed up the platform and the sanctuary for our guest, Carl McColman, who will be giving the message soon. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about Carl. Carl McColman is a contemplative writer, speaker, and spiritual director whose work explores the wisdom of Christian mysticism, Celtic spirituality, and contemplative prayer. He is the author of numerous books on spirituality, including the new big book of Christian mysticism, Read the Bible Like a Mystic, An Invitation to Celtic Wisdom, and Eternal Heart, The Mystical Path to a Joyful Life. Carl's work builds bridges between ancient spiritual traditions and contemporary seekers, inviting people into a deeper experience of silence, prayer, and the boundless nature of divine love. A longtime student of mystical wisdom and contemplative practice, Carl has a particular interest in the rich spiritual heritage of the Celtic world and in the ways mystical wisdom speaks to the questions of our time. Based here in Atlanta, Carl teaches mysticism for the Spiritual Director Training Program and Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, and regularly offers teaching, retreats, and spiritual direction both in person and online. And we'll get a taste of that today. Right now I'm going to read an inspirational teaching from one of Carl's books called The Internal Heart, The Mystical Path to a Joyful Life. Courage is a gift. We access this gift by finding those places in our hearts where we can let go of hurry and worry, settling into the stillness between each heartbeat, and perhaps even touching the face of eternity in the silence. Moment by moment, our hearts keep beating. The silence keeps yielding to pumping blood and purposeful thought and all that impels us into meaning and significance of life. Courage is the expression of a heart that is calibrated to all the gifts and promises and fruits that we have explored. Our eternal, wise, loving, deiform, discerning, renewed, beating hearts, immersed in silence and mapped with a pathway to joy, are innately courageous. And the more we learn to live from the abundance of the gifts within, or the gifts given, the more we will meet life's promises and problems from a place of courage rather than fear, hope rather than anxiety, trust rather than cynicism. Our eternal hearts contain all that we need for a joyful, loving, and truly meaningful life. Now please join me by standing and giving a warm unity welcome to Carl McColman.
Thank you, and it is so, so good to be here. What a wonderful community this is. And I've been here before, but it's been a minute. I had to look up in my calendar to figure it out, and the last time that I was here was actually in the summer of 2019. So almost 7 years ago now. So I'm going to have to talk to Reverend Jen and say, I don't want to wait 7 years before I come back. Hasn't the world changed in the last 7 years? We've gone through some pretty radical transformations, haven't we? COVID, the Ukraine, Gaza, now Iran, the rise of artificial intelligence, the first humans to travel to the moon in 50 years. And I'm old enough to remember the old time, the Apollo missions. It's fascinating how different the world feels. But there is also something really challenging, and that's what I would like for us to reflect on together today. I've learned looking at research polls, like the Gallup poll or the Pew Research Center, that pretty consistently the evidence is that Americans are less hopeful today than we were 7 to 10 years ago. Significantly less hopeful. Fewer people believe that their lives will get better in the next few years. More and more of us have lost faith in our institutions, like government or religion or big business. Now, I know there's always going to be fluctuations in the mood of the general public, but it seems that this is a trend, and I believe a heartbreaking trend, and one that I believe people of faith ought to be paying attention to. Now, at this point, it would be very easy for me to wade into political waters, but I'm not going to. Everyone says, namaste. We are a spiritual community, and so we need to be concerned about not only the spirituality of this problem, but the spirituality of the solution. Just for the record, it appears that the cynicism and even the despair that many of our fellow citizens are experiencing is true across the political spectrum. This is deeper than a political issue. This is a spiritual issue. It requires a spiritual response. But first, a message from our Buddhist friends. Did you know that the Buddhists, now probably not all Buddhists, but at least some Buddhists, are suspicious of hope? Yes, it's true. I remember the first time that I stumbled across this. I was looking at an interview with the Tibetan Buddhist writer Pema Chodron. I'm sure some of you have read her. She's a wonderful writer, a wonderful teacher. Her audiobooks are amazing. And here in this interview, it was a print interview I saw online, she was saying that she wasn't very big on hope. Now, I kind of wrinkled my nose like I had just smelled something stinky. But I did go ahead and read the interview, and it was very interesting. Her gripe was not really with hope itself, but rather with how people use hope, or maybe we should say misuse hope. You see, hope is oriented toward the future. It makes sense, after all. We hope that tomorrow will bring us more blessings than today. But this means that we can also use hope or misuse hope to distract us from the sacred now, from the present moment, beguiling us into placing faith into something that does not yet exist, and that can result in us ignoring what is right in front of us, what needs our response here and now. And the fancy term for this is spiritual bypassing. And so it reminds me of a story, and I'm sure some of you have heard this story, so indulge me as I tell the story. And it involves a person of faith who is living somewhere where there's a flood. And the waters come rushing through, and this person it's a guy. He climbs to the roof to get away from the rushing waters. And he's standing on the roof of his house, and he's praying. He's praying. He's like, Lord, save me from these rushing waters. And wouldn't you know, just then a canoe comes by. And it's his next door neighbor in the canoe. And he shouts out, hey, jump into our canoe. But he thought the canoe looked a little wobbly. So he shouted back, that's okay. I have faith in the Lord. The Lord will deliver me. And so the canoe went along and the water keeps rising. And then, here comes a motorboat, kind of putting along with its little outboard motor. And again, the person in the boat shouts out, hey, I have a rope. I'll throw it to you and we can pull you to safety. But our faithful believer waved him on, shouting that his faith was in the Lord. The water kept rising, and soon it was lapping at the edge of the roof. Just then, a helicopter flew by. And the pilot leaned out and using a bullhorn, because the rotor was so loud, using a bullhorn, he shouted, we can drop you a ladder. But the man shook his head, still confident that God would deliver him. Well, the water kept rising, and our poor friend was swept away and he drowned. The next thing he knew, he was standing in front of the pearly gates. And there was St. Peter and Jesus. And they walked up to him, and right away our friend says, well, I put all my faith in you. Why didn't you save me? And Jesus rolled his eyes. Don't you love that? Jesus rolling his eyes. Jesus rolled his eyes and he said, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. What more did you want? So my friends, this is the kind of hope that our Buddhist friends reject. And they're right. If we use hope as a spiritual bypass to be so future-oriented that we stop being focused on the good work we need to be doing now, then we have missed the boat, all puns intended. So I think it's what, and I learned this term from Reverend Jen, I think it's what is called metaphysical malpractice. So that's not the hope I'm talking about here. I want us to focus on the creative spiritual hope that does not avoid or deny the present moment, but serves as a bridge that integrates the possibilities of the present moment with the promise of the future. Life-giving hope does not avoid the present, for it is in the present that the seeds of the future are planted. But hope is a beacon of light, a clarion call that reminds us that no matter how bleak or seemingly negative current circumstances might appear to be, we carry within us everything we need to jumpstart the miraculous transformation from apparent despair to manifest joy. Now, one thing I love about the Unity tradition is how this community uses affirmations in service of manifesting a more healthy and abundant life. I used the men's room before a service started, and you don't know how many people I've said, go to Unity. They have affirmations in the bathroom. And I was so happy they were still there. I was going to be disappointed if they were gone, but affirmations are still part of this community. Now, all of you who work with affirmations, I'm sure you know that they are meant to be written in the present tense. For example, take a beautiful affirmation like, the peace of God dwells within me. But if you change that to, well, the peace of God is going to dwell in me someday, it's obvious that it's no longer an affirmation. It's only a wish. Now, I have nothing against wishes, but wishes don't carry the same power that an affirmation does. So let's hear the invitation here. The blessings that we hope for, we are invited to affirm right here and right now. But I'm still thinking about all those people that answered the Pew poll and the Gallup poll, and all the people in our lives, our family, our friends, our brothers and sisters and others who may be feeling that hope is hard to come by. Maybe you feel that way. I know there are times when I have felt that way. And so what happens when we find it hard or difficult or even impossible to hope? But before I try to answer that question, I would like to talk about guacamole. Now, that may seem like a non sequitur. In fact, it is pretty random. But I love guacamole, and this is my message after all. So humor me, my friends, while I talk about one of my favorite dips. So here's how much I love guacamole. Tell you a little bit about my story. My wife, who you'll meet after the service, she's at the table. My wife and I had a beautiful child that we had to give back to God at the age of 29 after a lifelong journey with kidney disease. And Rhiannon was in hospice for 7 months, and it was quite a journey. And during that time, she asked me, she said, will we see each other again? And I said, oh, of course, honey, you're going to go and be with Jesus and your grandmother. Of course we will see each other again. And she asked me with so much sweetness and vulnerability, she said, how will we find each other? How will we find each other? And I said, honey, I tell you what, when you're in heaven, go to the heavenly banquet and go to the table where there is a fountain of chocolate and a big vat of guacamole, because that's where you'll find me. And Rhiannon loved it. For the rest of her life, she kept talking about the vat of guacamole. That's where I'm going to see you, Dad. So, now, guacamole. We all know that guacamole is a lot more than just mashed up avocado, even though that is its main ingredient. But to have really good guac, You need to blend that mashed up avocado with lime juice and with salt, with other ingredients like diced onions or jalapenos, salt, tomatoes, I think I already said salt, so even more salt, cilantro, and just a hint of garlic. My mouth is watering just talking about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I will enjoy plain avocado on toast or in a salad or even cut up in gazpacho. There's lots of great ways to eat an avocado. My apologies to those of you who don't like avocado, but frankly, I'm glad God created you because that means there's more for me. But avocado by itself is not guacamole, right? You have to mix in all those other ingredients to get your guac. Now, when I think about guacamole, I immediately get more hopeful. But that's really not the point of this message. So let's get back to hope, which is the point of this message, and back to that question. What can we do when hope seems difficult or even impossible to find? And it seems to me that when hope is impossible or difficult to find, we need to focus on what I like to call the ingredients of hope. Just like you can't have guac without the lime juice and the jalapeno, et cetera, there are ingredients we need to build hope in our hearts. And there are lots of different ways to make guacamole. There are probably lots of different ways to create hope. But I'm going to give you my recipe today. And hopefully this will inspire you, maybe even to find your own recipe. So, to me, the three main ingredients of hope are trust and courage and joy. Trust and courage and joy. This is the avocado, the lime juice, and the salt of hope. Now, for the more optional ingredients, the garlic and onion and so forth, we could also look at qualities like patience and perseverance and gratitude, connection. There's lots of different ways to build our hope. But what I'd like to do now is maybe look at these different ingredients, just very briefly, and how we can touch on them and manifest them in our hearts. So we begin with trust. Now, when I was a high school senior, my dad gave me a magazine article that he had read somewhere, and it was a compendium of advice that an older man like my dad, a father, wanted to give to his son. When you're starting out life, here's your advice. And it was a pretty good article. My dad liked it, and he thought I'd enjoy it too, and I did enjoy it. One thing I remember it said was, make friends with someone who has a swimming pool. Now, I will tell you, my wife and I have learned you can also make friends with somebody who has a condo on the Gulf Coast. And I'll tell you, that really rocks. But there was one bad piece of advice in this article that I still remember many, many years later. It said, trust no one. If your mother says she loves you, check it out. Now, I noticed nobody laughed. I think the author was trying to make a funny, and I think he failed. But and I understand, sometimes trust needs to be earned, and yes, there are people out there who it's not a good idea to place our trust in them. I get that. But we're talking about God here. We're talking about spirit. We're also talking about our own hearts. I think we have to restore the place that appropriate trust needs to be in our lives. To trust someone means to place our faith in them. It orients us towards acknowledging that this person, or in God's case, this being, this spirit, is a source of good, a source of blessing, a source of healing and joy. On the human level, we all make mistakes, but God, who is love, is supremely trustworthy. God's trustworthiness, though, means nothing if we don't place our trust in God. Someone somewhere once said that the most fundamental question in life is simply this: is the universe safe or not? Even with all the suffering, with all the death and loss, with all the challenges that our culture may be facing or we as individuals may be facing, I believe that God tells us, yes, the universe is safe. The safety goes deeper than all those apparent problems. Trust is an expression not just of emotion, but of will. Trust is saying, I choose to believe. I choose to believe that love ultimately wins. So now we're going to blend into that trust courage. Courage. I remember as a young child watching The Wizard of Oz and that lion, on his quest for courage. What was the song? If I only had the Noive. He sung like he was from Long Island. If I only had the Noive. But, I had a hard time figuring that out when I was a kid. I got it that the scarecrow needed a brain and the Tin Woodman needed a heart, because those were material. I understood those. But courage was a little bit more abstract. But did you know, what's interesting is that courage kind of puts the cowardly lion in the Tin Man's camp, because the word courage literally means to have a heart. To have a heart. That's why in the reading, I wrote about courage because the book is a book about the spirituality of our hearts. And so, of course, courage has a place in there. We have our physical heart, of course, which pumps blood, but then there's the spiritual heart that's filled with strength and fortitude, valor and bravery, a heart that meets whatever challenge comes its way. So if trust is a disposition, a mindset, courage is a call to action. You don't manifest courage sitting on the sidelines, except to the extent that you are willing to get into the fray and to do the good work that you're called to do. Courage means standing up to be counted, volunteering for the difficult but necessary task, and even standing up to the person who is frightening or intimidating. So you may have heard of a woman named Maggie Kuhn. She was an activist with the Grey Panthers. And she famously said, "Stand before the people you fear and speak your mind, even if your voice shakes." So courage doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Sometimes it comes with a shaky voice or shaky hands. And that's okay. When you're faithful to your heart, sooner or later, faith triumphs over fear. The third ingredient is joy. And I want to be gentle here, because I know that many people live with trauma or with other wounds that can make it difficult to access joy. And the last thing I want to do is shame anyone who is finding it hard to manifest joy. That deserves compassion and love, not criticism. But I think sometimes we lose sight of joy for no other reason than our lives are busy and stressful. So maybe joy is more available to us than we sometimes give it credit. Friends, I invite every one of us to consider what steps can we take to manifest and access more joy in our lives. Joseph Campbell once said that we need to follow our bliss. And Howard Thurman, the amazing mystic who lived right here in Atlanta, reminded us that the world needs people who have come alive. Don't ask what the world needs, he said. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and go do that. Because what the world needs are people who have come alive. And of course, what he means by this is people who are following their bliss. And in following our bliss, in doing what makes us come alive, we create that space in our heart for Spirit to pour joy in. Bible tells us joy is a fruit of the Spirit, which means it is accessible and available to every one of us. It is a key to life-transforming hope. So I just want to very briefly touch on some of those other ingredients. Patience. There's this old story, the prayer, what is it? Dear Lord, I want patience and give it to me now. Think about a child waiting for Santa Claus. We human beings are not the most patient people in the world, and I think we just have to acknowledge that. Patience is a muscle we have to exercise, but it is a gift that is given to us through the Spirit. And so impatience is like the opposite of hope. Impatience is things are terrible and they've got to change right now. Patience partners with hope to say no matter how difficult things appear, we can move breath by breath, step by step into the future and the present, again, that God wants to give us. So To break the grip of impatience, all we need to do is breathe. We need to be, back to our Buddhist friends, be like Thich Nhat Hanh and acknowledge the present moment. When I breathe, I am alive. When I am alive, I can be patient. In my patience, I can find hope. Next up is perseverance. I remember my first boss telling me, you always need to follow through. And that's, to be honest, it's because I am better at starting things than finishing things. So that's what he was telling me to do. But I learned that perseverance is a spiritual value. In fact, it is the active side to patience. Just like courage is the active side to trust, perseverance is the active side to patience. Perseverance understands that God, in God's wisdom, allows an oak tree 100 years to reach maturity. God, in God's wisdom, allows us to stick to it in the long process of manifesting joy and healing and justice and a better world. What is it that Martin Luther King used to quote? It was somebody from the 19th century. The moral arc of the universe is long, but it does bend towards justice. That is a perseverance affirmation for us. Perseverance is the energy that helps us to keep on keeping on. Gratitude. The famous poet George Herbert said, that it's a prayer. Thou hast given so much to me. Give me one thing more, a grateful heart. And so gratitude is the antidote to bitterness and envy and other corrosive energies. I had a teacher once who said, when you are in gratitude, it's impossible to be in victimhood or martyrhood. That was a powerful teaching, something that has served me well over many years, that gratitude is the antidote to some of those difficult qualities. Finally, there's connection. And connection is simply that we need each other. It is beautiful to be here. I know some people are only joining us online, and that's great. But when you can, if it's possible, being together is a powerful ingredient of hope. We don't always honor this truth. I'm an introvert. I like to be alone. But when I am with other people, I can feel my heart expanding and growing. So connection is another important ingredient in the guacamole of hope. Now, I know many of us are isolated, or we might be healing after a difficult relationship, or for many other reasons we feel lonely and disconnected. This, too, is an epidemic in our society. So there's no one-size-fits-all solution to this problem, but I do believe making connections matter. And if old connections no longer work, there's always the hope for new connections. So I'm making a plug for unity. I'm making a plug for any community of faith where people practice positive values and truly care for one another. Being engaged in communities like this make it easier for us to hope. So my friends, that's my recipe for hope. My ingredient list for cultivating a more hopeful heart and a hopeful life. Mix all these ingredients together and let them rise slowly in your heart. I'm mixing metaphors now. No longer guacamole, now it's bread. We can bake them into the nourishing bread of our dreams for a brighter tomorrow. You may have a different recipe, and that's fine. Let's support each other to continue to bake the bread of hope in the kitchen of our hearts. And may these ingredients of hope activate our hearts so that under the loving guidance of the Spirit, we may co-create a truly delicious and blessed life. Amen.
Good afternoon. And thank you. Well, she called you Carl, but I don't know if I could call you Carl, but thank you for that perfect message. We love our place here. Well, I love it, and I know you guys do too. I am your treasurer for this year, so I'm here to guide you through this ways to give to Unity. We love Unity Atlanta, and that's why we come every Sunday. We're here and with the smiling faces and the namases, and we do everything together, and the connection is here. We love each other. I got to put in a plug for karaoke night, May the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So please join us because we have a lot of fun. But we also give, and we give in different ways with Cash App, Venmo. I think it's a basket in the back, or the basket is coming down the aisles, right? I don't see anybody standing at the aisles, so I'm assuming the baskets are coming, right? Well, we need a basket, so somebody go and pick up a basket, and let's get it rolling. Yes, pick up a basket. Thank you, Kathleen. And while we are preparing to give today, we want to thank everyone who has come out and everyone who is listening to us. And the funds, and we're so appreciative of the monies that have been given for the pledges and the regular Sunday gifts. And we want to say thank you to you, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So we appreciate every penny that's given. And so say with me the offering affirmation. Today, I expand my consciousness of God's infinite supply and let divine love through me bless and increase all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I have. Knowing that God is my source in all ways, I give and receive consistently, enthusiastically, generously, and gratefully now. Amen.
Started out down a dirty break your heart and steal your crown. Started out from God knows where. I guess I'll know when I get there. I'm learning to fly around the clouds. What goes up must come down. Learning to fly when I ain't got wings. Coming down the hardest thing. Learning to fly around the clouds. What goes up, yeah, must come down. Learning to
Yes, I feel like I can fly right now. Carl, thank you so much for your wonderful message of encouragement and for reminding us of the power of community. Speaking of community, are there any first-timers here this morning? Please stand if you are a first-timer, so that we can properly say thank you for coming. We pray that you did receive something from today's service that touched you, at least one thing. And we invite you to come back again. Please come back again and be part of our community. There will be someone out in the lobby, a board member or one of our greeters, who can talk to you about, if you want more information about Unity Atlanta Church, because we want you to come back. There are so many different ways that you can give, in addition to, of course, cold hard cash. But if you have something that you love to do and you can want to share that with our community, that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect. So thank you once again for coming with us today. I have just a few announcements. No, I'm not Pam, even though we look a lot alike. The due date for the Mother's Day pictures for our service on May 10th is this Monday at 5 o'clock. How many of you have already submitted your mother's pictures? All right, come on now. It's almost Monday at 5 o'clock. And this is an invitation for you to be part of the program. I'm really excited to be delivering the message because there are so many beautiful faces of motherhood. And we're going to explore that as a community on May 10th. There is a limit of 2 pictures. You can either have a picture of your mom or a picture of you and your mom, or both. And please identify the people in the pictures that you submit. You will submit them to linda@unityatl.org. I'm glad you know that address. The next karaoke open mic is on Friday, May 1st, and it will be a cookout. Mike Fennell will be in the lobby with a sign-out sheet. Mike, will you stand so people can see your handsome face? This is Mike. See Mike after service, and you can sign up for that karaoke celebration. Our next speaker next Sunday is the Reverend Dr. Dolores Voorhees, who is always a dynamic speaker, and we always get a lot from her message. So please come. Her message is entitled, "The Light That Is Always Within." There is a new member class on May 3rd, so if you are thinking about becoming a new member and you're not quite sure, come. There is no commitment to joining at that time, but it is a time where you can learn more about unity. Alicia Fields will be teaching classes almost every Wednesday from May through October. Check the roundabout behind the name tag board for flyers on all groups and classes. Carl and Fran will be in the lobby after service with Carl's books and Fran's hand-painted scarves. And that's it for me. So please join us in stating our final affirmation. Jeff, will you? Escort Carl out into the lobby so that he will be ready to greet you. Please join me now in stating this affirmation. Trusting this moment, this sacred moment, I affirm God's healing love flowing through me, to me, and through me to all people, that we may together manifest divine love here and now. And now for our Let There Be Peace on Earth song. Please stand if it's comfortable for you, and let's hit it. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. And we are so grateful. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday and the rest of the week.
1, 2.